Updating and adapting a Shakespearean play is a tall order and not very easy, but one that I was glad to take on.
Hey! Come, let me say wow, wow. Wow, wow.
Shakespeare, I think, continues to remain relevant because of all of the different topics that he was addressing in terms of class and wealth and status and relationships within families and friendships. Those are universal ideas that I think are never going to go away by doing different kinds of adaptations with certainly different groups of people that we haven't seen do it before, just kind of adds and serves the complexities and the ideas that he was investigating in all of the plays he made way back when.
Oh yeah, Madame Page, me? I was just going to come to your house.
Trust me, I was coming to you. You don't look well, oh.
Nay, I'll never believe that. And neither should you, eh?
Hey.
Whenever I work on Shakespeare, I'm always looking for ways to make it personal to me, that are really subjective, that I find speak to the current moment. And so for me, coming out of this pandemic, coming out of the great racial reckoning that we had, I wanted to find a piece that elevated Blackness in America, but did it in a way that was joyful, that was lively, that was celebratory, because we've had so much of the opposite.
But one of the things that's important to me is to grab young folks, and people that haven't been listening to this writer as long as I have. A way to do that is to throw them a little bit of colloquial references like LeBron James or, things like that so that people can hear it and feel more comfortable and familiar with it.
I will stare him out of his wits. I will awe him. With my club, I will hang like LeBron James over the cuckold's horns.
I think my rule of thumb when I was adapting was like any sort of like word or phrase or term that just absolutely would not fly today or didn't make sense in any way in today's, society was where I decided to take liberties with, switching and changing. But for the most part, I wanted to keep the story of Merry Wives as close to the original text as possible, but still allow people to feel like they could come in, understand the text, and have a good time.
Shakespeare is for everyone. I grew up in Kenya. One of my first productions was Romeo and Juliet. Everyone was Black, And so my entry point to that, to Shakespeare, was I felt permission to be in that production. And so things are different here in America, and I just feel like any opportunity that we can take here to show that Shakespeare is for everyone and everyone is invited and everyone can speak that text and make it their own. These actors are speaking Shakespeare and making it their own, speaking a dialect that embraces people who aren't normally invited to Shakespeare. And so I think for me, the current moment especially is about making Shakespeare feel that people of color can embody it, can inhabit it, and are welcome to come and appreciate it.
Hear the truth of it. She came to me on an errand from Pastor Evans.
Well?
Yes, to desire her.
Peace, I pray. Peace of your tongue. Speak of your tale.
To desire this honest gentlewoman, your nurse, to speak a good word to the marvelous Anne Page for my boss in the way of marriage. You see, I'll never put my finger in a fire I need not to.
Pastor Evans send to you? Tarry you a while.
Theater's been a part of our culture dating back to cavemen, So it's always there. And I think in New York, you can feel that. People want to get out and experience things together and kind of get around the campfire together, if you know what I mean.
Access to the theater is important because it should be for everybody. Oftentimes, theater tickets are so expensive, it really alienates a lot of groups of people and marginalized groups from being able to see it.
Audiences don't always feel welcome, don't always feel invited, don't always have the resources to be able to get themselves there. And so part of the mission of Shakespeare in the Park is to keep it free. It's free Shakespeare in the Park. And so public theater, public television, this just is such a beautiful marriage between these institutions whose mission it is to bring great art, great performances to the public for free.
Great performances, Merry Wives, is especially important to see in today's world because it brings you joy. And I think we could use a lot of that these days.